Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing another what sold from last week. If you're new here, my name is Cayley. I'm an online reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I pick up items for cheap, and I flip them on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari for their full value. Most weeks I come on and share my sales numbers so that you guys can have an idea of the kind of numbers that you can do if you follow my methods. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you how much I sold on each platform, as well as showing you some highlighted sales of some things that you can look for while you're at your local thrift store. I once again wanted to thank Dossier for partnering with my channel. If you guys are new to Dossier, they are a fragrance company. It takes inspiration from luxury designer perfumes and recreates their own, but at a much more affordable cost. I've absolutely loved everything that I have gotten from Dossier, and in today's video, I wanted to share two new ones that I have chosen to try. So I think this is one of their most popular ones. It is Oriental Tobacco. And I know that that sounds like such an odd fragrance, but it's inspired by Tom Ford's rendition of the vanilla tobacco scent, and I was intrigued. So I am going to try this. It smells really good. I don't know how to explain it. It has this old-timey, comforting, very unique scent to it that I really like. I am going to wear it for the rest of today and kind of just see how it pairs on my skin, because as you guys know, everybody's skin reacts differently with scents. So the way this might smell on me might smell different on you. And so I just like to kind of try fragrances for at least a day and see how it smells by the end of the day before I really commit to one. So far, I'm really liking this one. Because I really like to test something out before I fully commit, I really appreciate that Dossier sends a small tester as well as a full-size fragrance in all of their boxes that you purchase. You can try out the tester, use it up, decide if you want to keep the full size or not, and then if you would like your money back, you can send the full size back for a refund, which is a great way to make sure you're always getting something that you like. And the other one I decided to try was one that takes inspiration from Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. A lot of people know about this fragrance. Their rendition's called Oriental Oak Moss. And top notes, first one on the list is bergamot. You guys know I absolutely love bergamot. That also smells really good. Really love it. I also love patchouli, which I just noticed is one of these. So if you like luxury perfumes but don't want to spend that much, Dossier is a perfect option. I also just really appreciate that usually I have to be careful about fragrances. I usually have to wear them once to determine whether it's going to give me headache or not, because I actually do get quite a bit of headaches from perfumes. And so I'm very, very careful. So far, out of all of the Dossier fragrances that I've tried, none of them have given me headaches, which is honestly quite amazing. So thank you so much to Dossier for partnering with my channel. Once again, I absolutely love all these fragrances that I'm trying, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. If you're interested in trying out Dossier, I do have a special link as well as a special exclusive coupon code just for this channel down below in the description. Try yours today and let me know which scents you try. All right, let's jump back into the sales. So everything on this report that I am showing you here sold between June 27th through July 3rd. And typically I'm noticing year after year that the weeks leading up to July 4th tend to be slower weeks. So just keep that in mind. If you're having slower sales this past week, I think it's pretty typical. And as for me, I'm going to write that down in my calendar for next year. So I did have a pretty slow sales week. I sold a total of 63 items on 3 different platforms, eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, for a gross sales total of $2,014.69, which made my average sale price $31.98. Total cost of goods for everything that sold last week was $281.24, which made my average cost of goods $4.46. On eBay, I sold 37 items, on Poshmark I sold 21, and on Mercari I sold just 5 items. On eBay, my gross sales were just over $1,200. On Poshmark, they were $566, and then on Mercari, $200. Let's jump into some highlighted sales. I tried to do a good mix of some bolos, but also some everyday items that you're going to come across pretty frequently that have a high sell-through rate. So the first item is this pamplemousse, which here is the tag. This is a brand sold at Reformation. Reformation items do retail for a lot, but they don't always resell for a lot. So I am pretty specific on the pieces that I pick up. I could not find this exact top pretty much anywhere, and it was so unique that I decided to pick it up. I have been sitting on it for a little while. I think I originally listed it for like $125 or best offer. Since I have been sitting on it, someone sent me an offer for $75, which I accepted, and I only paid $4.29 for this top. In general, I would say Reformation is worth picking up, although I would be prepared to sit on it for a little bit. Next is this Johnny Was piece that I actually found at the bins, and I think a lot of people passed on it because they thought it was just a blanket or a robe. But it felt very high quality, so I decided to look for the tag. The tag said Pete and Greta, which is a line from Johnny Was. Definitely keep your eye out for this brand, and also just Johnny Was in general. This went on an international sale through the global shipping program, and I ended up selling it for my full asking price of $49.96. And of that bins trip, I believe I only paid $1.19 on average for each item in that bins trip. This is not everybody's cup of tea, but I do like selling big bulky jackets. A lot of people don't like to store them, but for me, they are worth storing them because they sell for so much. So this is just a Smith's workwear jacket. This caught my eye because of the color of the jacket. It was canvas, and we all know that brown. It's like a cognac brown. It also had a fleece lining, which in my opinion always adds value, so I make sure to include that in the listing. This I listed for $49.92. It sold on an offer for $44.93. This is a really nice Tory Burch dress that I have been sitting on for a little bit, but I am glad that I picked it up. I paid full price at my Goodwill, $4.99 for this, and it ended up selling for my full asking price of $49.99. This is a linen roll tab sleeve dress by Tory Burch. This is another one of those things that does retail for a lot but does not always resell for a lot. One of the reasons I think I sat on this was because it was a size 0, but I am still glad that I picked it up because that's a great return on investment. So that sold for full asking price of $50. This was a recent pickup from the bins, and I almost didn't pick it up, although now I'm wishing I would have priced it higher because it sold almost immediately. And this is one of those cases where it is more so about the style than the brand. So right now, maxi and midi dresses are doing very well. So are floral prints, and so are tiered dresses, that kind of peasanty look. So this was a sleeveless tiered dress, had smocking detail, which again is a very popular feature right now. So for all of those things combined, I decided to pick them up. I estimate paying between $1 and $2 for this. I listed this at $14.97 because it was Old Navy and it sold almost immediately. So I'm kind of wishing I would have priced that closer to $20 or $25, but it just goes to show that it's not always about the brand. Another brand that I am picking up at the bins is Knox Rose. This has an extremely high sell-through rate, and when I'm only picking up for between $1 and $2, I'll almost always pick it up. Their dresses also do really well. Their dresses can sell for about $25 pre-owned. So yeah, keep an eye out for this brand. Extremely high sell-through rate. A lot of people pass on it because they think it's a cheap brand, which it kind of is, but they also sell some really nice pieces. And like I said, they have a following. So this was just a bohemian top. I pretty much pick up any top in this brand as long as it is in good condition. This was a size large, and I had it listed for $14.96. It sold almost immediately on an offer for $13.46. Another really high sell-through rate brand for me is Torrid. This is a really cute Torrid gingham plaid top. Had this listed for $24.94. It did sell at my full asking price. If you're not familiar with Torrid, they do sell a lot of plus size pieces. That's what they're known for, and so this one is actually equivalent to a 1X. These next two pieces are both by We the Free, and they sold in a bundle to the same person. So I've got this Western Horse sunset tank top, and then this Free People Las Vegas, Nevada graphic cutoff shirt. Both pretty unique pieces, and like I said, they did sell in a bundle to the same person. This bundle ended up selling for $59.91. So I think that's about full asking price. I wanted to show this because I come across Harry Potter a lot, and it has an extremely high sell-through rate. Regardless of this not being vintage, still this brand does very, very well. And I noticed the cardigans can usually fetch about $25. So this is one that I picked up at the bins for about $1.50 and ended up selling for my full asking price of $24.96. Here's a brand I've been finding a lot of lately. This is Fresh Produce. This is a size 1X, so I think that did help to sell it. These sold pretty quickly at $24.96, which was my full asking price. I really like selling dresses in this brand. I don't find pants a ton, but regardless, whenever I do find stuff in this brand, it usually sells almost immediately. This is another high sell-through rate brand. This is Duluth Trading Company, and the men's stuff and the women's stuff both do well. Here is the tag. This was also a good size and a women's size 12, and they just sell really like durable workwear and outdoorsy stuff. This one I had listed for $34.96. It ended up selling on an offer for $31.46. I talk a lot about selling this brand of jeans. The brand is Silver Jeans. I had a viewer who commented last time I talked about these. I can't remember if it was a haul or if it was a what sold video. I think it was a haul. But I said that I pretty much pick these up in any style and any size if they're in good condition, and I sell them between $30 and $40, and they said that they don't have any luck selling them. Pretty much every what sold video I'm showing Silver Jeans, so I don't know why it isn't selling for them or for you, but for me, I have an extremely high sell-through rate with Silver Jeans. So it's different for each person. It also depends on how you're listing the item and what your pictures look like, but for me, this brand does extremely well. This one sold for my full asking price of $39.94. Again, I just picked these up in any style and any size. This is probably my favorite Anthropologie brand to sell. The brand is Maeve. This one was actually new with tags, which is one of the reasons that I picked it up. I paid $5.99 for this. It retailed for $118. Typically, I know I'm going to get probably about half of the retail value. Here is the Maeve tag. This dress ended up selling for my full asking price of $50, which was almost half of the retail value. This was an extremely quick flip. This is Eileen Fisher. It is a brand that I really like selling, especially in more unique pieces like this dress. Do really well. This sold, like I said, very, very quickly. Linen in this brand also does just extremely well. It has a really good following. This one sold for my full asking price of $44.96. Moving on to Poshmark. You guys know this is one of my favorite brands to sell. It is Ralph Lauren. This is Lauren Ralph Lauren. And the reason I picked this up was because of the material and the fact that it was cable knit. So this is a lamb's wool Angora cashmere cardigan. Like I said, with cable knit detail, it was a longer length. All of those factors combined, I knew that this would be a good seller. This did sell for $60. This is Tommy Hilfiger, which is definitely not a brand I pick up very often anymore, but what I look for is the retro vintage looking ones, and I try to look for some sort of logo, some sort of crest, or some sort of flag. Again, the more vintage retro looking ones. I thought this was perfect for summer, and it did end up selling at $27. These are some awesome, very unique shoes by the brand Jeffrey Campbell. And this line in particular is called Ibiza, which I don't have a picture of, but it says here on the sole. This line seems to do extremely well. These were almost like new. You can see they've hardly been worn. This style in particular, regardless of brand, I would keep an eye out for. I don't quite frankly know how to describe the style, but anything unique like this in leather does very well. So these sold relatively quickly for $50, which was a really good return on investment. This was a surprising sale. I actually picked this dress up for me, but it ended up not fitting correctly, so I put it for sale. This surprises me because this brand doesn't typically resell for a ton, but all the factors were here for this dress. So this lacy eyelash detail here is really popular right now. It is a long maxi length and it's tiered. So all of those things combined, this sold very quickly at $30, and it was something, again, that I picked up for myself. I was not expecting it to sell for this much, but I will keep an eye out for this style moving forward. This is a pair of Miss Me jeans. This one's actually new with tags. I think we paid up for this a little bit. We might have paid about maybe $12, I think, for these. Retailed for $99.50. Again, you can usually get around half of the retail value on the tag. It's typically what I look for, although do your own comps. These ones ended up selling for $48. They did have peace signs on the back, so I think they were a little bit more unique. This is a vintage NASCAR jacket. I talk about vintage NASCAR stuff a lot. You might have to sit on it for a little bit, but it can bring some good profits. So this was a really cool windbreaker. It ended up selling for $50. Here's another Torrid item. This is, again, just a Torrid top that sold for $25. I pick up Torrid all day long. Again, it is known for its plus size pieces, so this too is equal to a 2X. Here's a brand I like picking up if it's in decent condition. The brand is Sanuk, and they make like comfort slip-on loafers, and they usually sell very quickly for me. These did have a little bit of wear, and they still sold for $30. Here is a kids piece. This is an Under Armour Cold Gear kids jacket. We probably should have put Storm in the title, but we missed that, but it sold anyways. I like selling kids pieces sometimes because they're easy to just throw on a table and take really quick flat lays of without having to mess with a hanger. And depending on the piece, can bring just as much as adult clothing. So this kids Under Armour jacket sold for $28. This is another item that sold strictly based off of style. The brand is Universal Thread, which I believe is sold at Target. But this was a linen blend jumpsuit, and because of the color, I marketed it as a rustic jumpsuit. Might be a keyword that you may want to use, but it was just a wrap linen jumpsuit. The color is definitely what sold it. I had a lot of interest, as you can see here on this platform, but other platforms as well, and it sold pre-owned for $35. Here is a pair of men's Levi's 501 jeans. These were new with tags, and they were a really wacky color in purple. I priced these high because they were new with tags, and they ended up selling for $50. Here's a brand I come across all the time, although I don't typically pick it up unless I can get it for $2 or less. The brand is Grunt Style. It has an extremely good sell-through rate, which is why I continue picking it up at the bins, or again, $2 or less. Typically sells between $15 and $20, but it sells very quickly, so you can get your money back and then some almost immediately. This one was just a fish style graphic, and it sold for $20. I have been selling more on Mercari. I was really happy with this sale. This was probably my best sale on Mercari last week. This is a Free People women's high-low lace jacket. I picked it up because it was very unique. It had some lacy details, kind of military inspired. I felt like I was going to sit on it for a while because it was a size extra small, and it only took a few months to sell. And I priced high, and it sold for $84. This is a Harley Davidson women's tank top. This is definitely a more modern Harley Davidson, and this, to my surprise, sold for $29 very quickly on Mercari. This is a CNC California. I'm not actually looking for this brand, but we picked it up because of the flamingo print, and I'm glad we did because it sold extremely quickly on an offer of $22. I originally had it priced at $29, and I believe we picked this up at the bins. This is Buckle Black. Any kind of buckle items I really like selling, especially in men's. And this is just an acid wash burnout shirt. This sold very quickly for $25. I originally had it priced at $29. And last but not least is this Venus women's halter dress. This is not a brand I pick up everything in, but certain pieces, like their dresses, can do extremely well, and the style was really on trend. This ended up selling very quickly for $39, and it looks like When we did the cross post, the first photo did not come over, but it's still sold with just this front photo. All right, guys, that's it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you're not already and you would like to be, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you guys get notified as I make new content. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.